Yeah, my name is Solomon Adeniyi. I am the program manager for International Society for Peace and Safety. And today we are celebrating the Human Rights Day, and I'm going to call the chairman of the International Society for Peace and Safety to come over to come and expatiate what he have for us today. You are welcome, Mr. Where are you from?
Yes, good morning from Nigeria. We are here in Badagry. Badagry is a historical place, and today we are here to celebrate the International Human Rights Day as being declared by United Nations. Our organization, International Society for Peace and Safety, work with young people, educating them in peace, safety, and human rights. Also with global citizenship education to make them champions of peace and human rights advocates. So today we are marking the Human Rights Day in Badagry because Badagry is a historical place, a place where slave trade took place, and because of that we want to march for human rights. We are expecting our students to join us. So we'll march from here, Badagry Town Hall, along the line to Mobi Slave Rallies, where they will talk to us about slave trade, what happened around between 1840 to 1841, and thereabout. Then they will also take us to the first story building in Nigeria to see what happened there and how the building is still standing. And again, we move our students to a point where we have to discuss the importance of human rights and why we are here. And then after that, we sign petition for human rights because we want also human rights to be included in school curriculum in Nigeria. We want peace education, we want human rights education, we want safety education to start from the grassroots. So that is what we'll be doing today as the student and the teacher join us in a minute from now. Thank you very much as we await the student to join us.
Thank you.
International Human Rights Day. So we are here in Badagry, historical place, to march for human rights. So we'll be moving from this place to movie slave trade with our students so that they can learn some things about the slave trade. Then from here we move to the first story building in Nigeria so that they can also learn some certain things about that. Then from here we move to the point where we will discuss briefly about today's activity and we share history about human rights and certification of our students. Thank you very much. Now, now, go determine our lady head straight. Okay, that man don't go inside. Stand here.
So
Just
no minor of us here.
It's okay. It's okay.
this introduction. Okay, turn around, you face me. Then I want to speak to you at the back. If you are tall, let me see you at the back. Short, you are the okay. What's the theme of today's lesson? What's the theme? The theme is dignity, freedom, and justice for all. Dignity, freedom, and justice for all. That is the theme from the human rights. You're welcome. My name is Cornerstone. And it was so sad that we are living in a country whereby our rights are being put in mourn. See, and I'm also in a school that believe that either they like this or not, and Papa is still coming back from where she did a lot of that. And the mistakes that we'll be making as a black man, that a lot of people don't know, because we refuse to tell the children the truth. We refuse to train them right from the cradle. Because there's most of our leaders that you see today don't even know where we Africans are really coming from. They're just there. That's why they could not fight for our rights. And it was so sad. Now, who is a slave? We Africans, we are not slaves. Everybody say we are not slaves.
We are not slaves.
Who is a slave? A slave is somebody's property or someone under bondage. And if you're under bondage, you may not have access to education. You will not go to school. Slaves are not allowed to go to school. Slave eat once in a day. Sometimes they will portray, they tear the upper lip of the slave, they put padlock, or they use something called iron muzzle. You'll be seeing the picture inside to cover their mouth. And you guys are going to school. That shows that you are not what? Yes. But now, the Europeans, the Americans don't want us to be educated. They don't want us to go to school. Because they know that if these black people were being given education, one day they will rise up and fight for their rights. But now, we've been taught in our school, still, we are not still fighting for what really belongs to us. Now, we have two categories of slaves. A domestic slaves that work in their master's house. The field work on the farm or on a plantation. And what is a plantation? A plantation is a very large farmland where the slave used to work. It's not mixed farming. Ever say non-mixed farming? That is say, always a particular crops were being grown on the plantation. Now, I'm going to mention two types of plantation that me I know. Don't mention what I've mentioned. You mention your one. I know you get it. We have orange plantation. We have mango plantation here. Cocoa plantation, yam plantation, plantain, more sugarcane, groundnut, sugarcane plantation, good timber plant. That's where the slave used to work. Now, there's a man in our storyline today, and this is the type of the man. If you get right to runabout, you see statue of this man standing at the runabout. He founded the stand in 1902, but the training is bad. Now, I'll be telling you more about this man. But most of the tourists, when they comes around here, after the end of the tour, they used to ask us, why are we celebrating this man? And I need to say that we are not celebrating him. Because they say without event, there's no history. That's how he lived his life. So we have to tell people how he lived his life. Not if we are celebrating him. Now, when he was at the age of 6, he was captured as a slave boy. Who is a slave? Good. You are with me. He was captured at the age of 6 as a slave boy during the Egbas and Dahomey War. Maybe you guys have been heard of Cotonou, Ajashe, what's called Republic of Dahomey. It was changed to the Republic in 1975. So during the Egbas and Dahomey War, that's when they captured him at the age of
And he has a name. Ifaremilekun was his birth name. What does it? Now, today, how come the name now came to be Seriki Williams Abbas? Abbas was the first master that owns him as a slave. And Abbas in person was a black man, a slave trader, and Islamic scholar who lived in Dahomey then. He made him a domestic slave. Williams, a white man, who used to come from Brazil to buy slaves from him. Anytime he comes around, he used to see the young boy. It's like this guy was so intelligent. And who say we Africans we are subhuman? When somebody ever says subhuman, when somebody calls you subhuman, they say we have no soul. Don't we have soul? They say we are an apes. We are an animal. So, but this man was endowed. So, Williams, anytime comes around, there's something he say again. Keep on disturbing Abbas. But Abbas have no choice. He resold him to Mr. Sir Williams, the white man. Williams now took him down to Brazil. He taught him how to read and write, which was illegal. Slave must not go to school. But through Williams, this man speaks English, Dutch, Spanish, and Portuguese, and he could read and he could write. But one day, William now called him, come, let me give you your freedom, but with conditions. You are going to work for me. And he grabbed the bar. William set him free. When he left Brazil, he first settled down in Lagos Island. From Lagos colony, the father came down to resettle here in Badagry. When he came here, it was the Williams, the second master, who built this compound for instead of building the trade. Now build this baby so they'll be doing the trade together. Now, in the year 1895, he became the Seriki Musulumi. Seriki is a title among the Muslims. Because slaves to bear their master's name. That's the main reason why this man is the first master, the second, and the title that he had. I hope I'm communicating. What's your name? What? Speak louder. Real one. What's your own name? Aisha. What is your name? What? What's your own name? What? Okay. What's your name? Okay. Sir, the main reason why I'm asking the children name, you are Yoruba girl, am I right? But the rest are giving me Islam name, I cannot tell them where they come from. Because that name is not our name. I'm not saying anything wrong with the Christian, English, or Islamic name that we give our own children. But we have a name that once somebody mention your name, the person of that, this person is from so place just through your name. That's why most of the African Americans, those that we sold or being forced away, when they come, their children should come here. You know, black Americans, you know them. The way I'm taking you, suddenly some of them will burst into tears. And why do they drop tears? They know that they were Africans. The black children come from because they have no name. They bear their master's name. So that's why when people are saying, please, let's give our children our native name. There's nothing wrong with our name. There's a film called The Root by Alessali. Yes. The African name. That guy was captured at Senegambia. Today they call it Gambia. They took him down to America. He's so stubborn. Now, you know, slaves bear their master's name. The master now call him, you come. As from now, your name is Toby. The guy said, Kunta Kunte. They tied him on a stake. You see, I'll show you inside. They started to flog this guy. With the help of the other slave, the guy said, I'd rather die than taking another man's slave. But they forced the name with the help of the other slave, begging, please, accept this name so that you survive. Now, the guy now accepted the name Toby. But later on, he has a daughter called Kizzy. Even though that Kizzy was raped by the master, when the Europeans came to Africa, they raped most of our mothers, our sisters. Then he has a daughter called Kizzy. Kizzy had a guy called Chief George. They were passing that name from one generation to another. It was the seventh generation of they had traced their route for Nexus America to Senegambia, where the guy was captured as a slave. And they made that road to to the roads. Now, please, let's give our children our name. Now, majority of slave taking for this compound, we are taken to Brazil. To where? Brazil. And they were Yoruba origin. And today in Brazil, we go to Brazil, you see their traces. There's a god among the Yorubas they call Yemeja. Over in Brazil, they call it Lemeja. Eshu, Ezu, Iyalakara, Akaraje, Oshun, Ozun. That's to tell that they are Yorubas that have been moved from this moment to Brazil. And Barakun is a Portuguese word. You know, I told you that it was the Portuguese who started the transatlantic slave trade in the 15th century. But later, Queen Elizabeth, or later, the English joined. The first slave ship is being named Jesus of Lubeck, owned by King Henry VIII of England. The Queen Elizabeth, now later, rented it to one George Hawkins, and they started taking Africans away as a slave. And Baraku means cell, dungeon, or storehouse where the slave were being kept. Now, children, we are talking about 40 rooms in this compound right now. And all the rooms in this compound used to be slave cell, dungeon where they are being kept. Now, after the 40 rooms, the government met with the family of him that we are still living in the compound today, that they should reserve 2 rooms that will be privileged to see soon. But before we go in, let's turn around. Everybody face the wall. If you are taught, let me see. I hope you guys are learning. Now, so what's the name of your school? Wow, your uniform so lovely. You guys are looking lovely. Are you guys slaves?
No.
I would say we are not slaves.
We are not slaves.
Do you know what? Let me tell you something. Education is a key. You just have to do. We have some heroes, some legends. What made you a legend? When you go to school, the teacher give you an assignment, still go back home, still go over it. Why other keep on praying? You keep working, and one day the world will celebrate you. Now, let me ask you this question. If you don't go to school, can you be a president of Nigeria? Can you be a governor? Can you be a senator? No, you have to face your education, right? Now, when the Europeans came to Africa, we Africans, we have our own currency. Everybody say currency.
Currency.
Currency means money that they use. Now, children, I'm going to mention 4 types of money our forefathers spent in the olden days. Now, in the olden days in Africa, tobacco, they used tobacco to produce cigarettes. Tobacco were used as money in the olden days by our forefathers. There's what they call yala salt, Y-A-L-A, yala, then you write salt, S-A-L-T. Yala salt. Yala salt used to be like a precious stone. You have an egg shape. Then there's what they call Manila. I will say Manila.
Manila.
Now, if you look at our 100 note, the one that carries Awolowo's logo, you notice there used to be a green star. In the middle of the star, you see a curved ring. Then you see 2 at the back, the one here. That ring is called Manila. Portuguese use Manila. Our forefathers use Manila as money. Then the last one is called cowrie shell. Everybody say cowrie shell.
Cowrie shell.
Now, the European now said they don't want to do business with our forefather with those kind of money because it was the British who, British colonized us in Nigeria, and they were the one that introduced money to us in Nigeria. Now, the now said people are being traded by barter with them, and trade by barter simply means exchange good for good. Now, imagine what I say. Imagine European will give our father 1 umbrella and collect 40 human beings as a slave. And we still have the surviving umbrella up till date. Now, if they give them 1 bottle of whiskey, we give them 10 human beings as a slave. You see how? Wow. A plate, we call it ceramic, go for 10 human beings. Now, Sama, the worst part of it is that all the items that were used to produce this thing, they will take it from Africa, they will refine it at Europe, they still bring it back here to collect our own people as a slave. That's why we call it triangular slave trade. Now, when this man became the Seriki Musulumi of Badagry, when they want to turban him, ever say turban?
Turban.
You know that thing where they put hands, when they want to crown. So, European that are doing the trade with him gave him this as a gift, while the bride this was given to him by the Brazilians that are doing the trade. Beads and mirrors, they used to gather, there's something called bargain power. Your teacher can say 3 slaves, you guys can say 2, here can say 7. It depends how you can bargain and negotiate with each other for beads and mirror. Now, this one I call cannon gun. I ever say cannon guns. Cannon guns were used to fought war then. European will give our formula the longer one, they collect 100 human beings as a slave. The shorter one, 40 slaves. The Dane gun, 40 human beings. Now the question is this: as an African, or we Africans, what do we do with all these items? We use it to wage war against ourselves. So to God no slave to sell to the European. And we sold ourselves into slavery, and it's still happening up to today. And I used to tell people that, so for me, in my own little way, this great country called Nigeria, Nigeria no supposed to borrow money from any country, because I can see the riches of this country. Nigeria is well blessed. We have everything. Nigeria is supposed to be like the mother to other African countries, helping them out. But why are we still suffering in the midst of the plenty? That's the question. Now, look at those two doors. The two doors are the 1640s when the compound was being established. It's one of our monuments. Now, how many do we have in this compound? 40 rooms, and the rooms are all barrack cells. So let's see the two and see what we have in. So you're welcome. Now, what we're going to do now, because of our number, everybody cannot go in because the room is too low. We will divide ourselves into two groups. The first group we go in here. The other group will go in here with me. Then later, when we are swapping, I will now come back to the second group. Are you getting it? So let me see separation now before we go in. Into two groups. You understand?
Separate.
Yeah, good.
Why do you like
It's okay like that. Okay. Now, before we go in, now, this is the surviving umbrella for 40 human beings. The umbrella was made of wood, bronze, silk, and cane. And this umbrella is heavy. And one man constantly had to carry it on the head of the master. It must not drop. If it drops, they'll beheaded the slave. Because slaves were somebody's property, and they believe they can do anything with their property. Now, before we go in, let me quickly explain what you'll be seeing inside. The rooms look like a room and parlor. All the rooms in the company will be room and parlor. The first room is called inspection room. Ever say inspection? Inspection. Now, any slave above 40, 35, 6, they call them macrons. They don't want such a slave. They want a young shaft because they are going to work. Where they take it to, they want a very healthy one. That's why they check them. Then if you guys go in, just look up. If you are tough, bend to enter. Just look up, you see a rectangular shape of window that will give them ventilation. Imagine putting 40 enslaved human beings inside that room. In there, they will defecate, they will be there for 3 to 4 months awaiting the slave ship. Imagine the odor, the heat. Imagine how many of them will have died here in this town. That's why when people come here, I used to tell them, we are not here to catch fun, but just to feel the pain. It is what passes after. And I used to tell children, okay, when you get back home, go to mommy and daddy and say, the mommy, thank you for sending me to school. Thank you for being there for me. Slave have nobody. Slave were maltreated. Now, then there's one item number 7 inside. We call it iron drilling bit. What's your name? What? Read one. Now, if I'm read one slave, what will be my name? Read one. Because slaves bear their master's name. They put that iron inside the fire to write read one on my chest or at my back. Red hot. A lot of people used to compare tattoo and branding together. It's a different thing. Tattoo, they use needle. But this one, imagine putting iron. Even though they also use the iron to perforate. I would say perforate. That's it, they will draw the upper lid, they put the iron inside fire. You know it's very red. When they put just they will now apply a lot. It's different from tattoo. It's so painful. Now they branded the women with that iron. The women, they will write their name at the back because of their breast. If you're a man, they write the name of the owner here, or they put some logos here. You know, you have animal, you put sign, or sometimes they used to chop some hair of the animal just for identification. That's exactly what they used to do. Slave. Now you'll be seeing a chain that they used to kill them on gallows inside there. Then anything you see inside that you don't really understand, later when you come out, the last place, then I will not take a few questions before we move to another. next time. So I want this group to go in here. This group will not come in here. Come on, follow me. That's match box. Okay, as you can see, this is called match box. And this is a picture of the man. I'll tell the story outside. You know, I thought I had education. But look at the beautiful handwriting of Sediki Williams Abbas. And then that's him over there. Now, these are the branded iron that I told you. Now, we are going to see the dark room. Here it's called inspection room. If you are tall, you have to bend the head. Let's see. Yes. Now look at the window I told you guys. Can you see the window? Yes. Imagine they will still lock this door. Can this give someone ventilation, even to one person? No, it cannot survive here. So, and those are the items that I show you on the wall that were used in exchange for the slave. But children, look at that black round thing you are seeing. So, yes. We call that thing record. What I say? Record. They used to call the engine gramophone. In those days, today we use DVD and CD. In those days, they just be winding it and started to sing. Now, Muslim washes their faces less than four. Isn't it? When they want to do their prayer, we call it ablution. What I say? Ablution. This guy needs to sorcery about for ablution, soup, and you're drinking water. Now you wash your head again.
It's not small. No,
Just cover this one. All right. Where are they?
Oh, the thing is
You will see us also. Photographer, do a call.
So that's it. The next thing we are going to see the iron. I have to carry it and force it. Look, this one they are beaten to death. They have no case. Okay. Now come. Let's see the group, the next room. Hello guys, where are you coming to? Where you guys going there? Where are the others of the compound? As you can see, they are all cells in those days, and 40 in bed. Today, the family of Sediki Abbas still live here. Now, this is the remnant. That was a remnant. Remnant. That's the remnant. The building that Sediki Abbas started. The building is here. It collapsed in 1995, 47. Now, come over. This window here, and the door here used to be his chamber, and that chamber served as his office, and this used to be his court, where he used to pass judgment among the community under him. Now, we call this thing mausoleum. Ever say mausoleum? Mausoleum. Now, this is where Sediki Abbas was put to rest. This is where they buried him. He died 11 June 1919, and he was buried here by the family, the Muslim community, and the Brazilian. And that small one, that's one of his sons, his last son. His name is Saka Ajawini Sabah. He was born 1913, 1987. Now, you are welcome. Do you have any questions? And you must have questions. Now, all. So, where are we headed to? Not you guys, those that are free, the kind of, let's say, I won't shout, okay? You look on. 1, 2, go. Freedom. You get it? Let's react. Wait, let's react first.
freedom!
too big as they enter.
Yes, now.
Do you hear me, guys? Don't touch what? The wall. And don't touch the door. Don't touch anything at all.
Hold on, please. Hold on, hold on.
Coming. Look all these things. So now you are welcome to the four-story building in Nigeria. This building was built in 1845 by a reverend known as Reverend C.A. Galman. Now, where you are is known as workers' room. Everybody say workers' room.
Workers'
room. Yeah, this room and the other one used to be the workers' room. And when the missionary arrived, they came with 7 laborers, 3 carpenters, and 4 bricklayers. Here used to be their room. And these were some of the products or some of the iron corrugated sheets, the inches, or some of the items that were used in construction or putting the building together. As you can see, the iron corrugated sheet, how thick it is. And what we produce now, get 15 or 20 of it out of the edible zinc. And the nails that they use then, this is the nail we use now, but this is the nail they use then. And you can see it's as thick, like very strong, like a tornado nail. And they use burnt bricks, but later they now support it with some of the African wood. So we are the workers' room. Now we are moving to the next room. And don't forget, don't touch the wall, don't lay over the wall because they are being faithful, so you're not mistake.
Historical Abia Street. Under this street, Christianity was first proclaimed in Nigeria in September 1842, and the first Christmas was first celebrated in December 1843.
The tree, now let's do it together. This tree fell a year before Nigeria got her independence. Who can tell me the year when the tree fell?
1959.
1959. Good. Now, some call the tree velvet, some call it licky licky, some call it agia. You know, maybe you know the seed. When you press something, it used to be black. When you press something that looks like vitamin, I think your back call it igi and wing. So when the tree fell, there's a monument. That's a picture of a monument in replacement of the tree. But now, at Agia, the construction is going on there. They are trying to renovate most of those things there where Christianity began in Nigeria 18 42. Now, we are going to the next room. The next room will be the rooms of the first teacher in Nigeria. Now, I want to give you the assignment. You'll be telling me if he is the first teacher in Nigeria, you'll be telling me the number of your teacher in Nigeria. Yeah? Okay, you are welcome to the room of the first teacher in Nigeria, Mr. Gladius Philip. Mr. Gladius Philip started education with 40 men. How many men?
40 men.
And those 40 men spent 12 years in their primary school.
We are coming.
The name of the first primary school is named St. Thomas Primary School. Where was St. Thomas Primary School?
St. Thomas Primary.
And the school is still standing up today in this town called Badagry. But really, the name of the schools then, which began inside this compound, was being named Nursery of the Infant Church, which began by the 40 men. And they spent 12 years in their primary school. And in case, if you are asked, who is the first teacher in Nigeria? That's the picture. What can you go around? What's the first teacher in Nigeria?
Mr. Gladius Phillips.
Now, if Mr. Gladius Phillips happened to be the first teacher in Nigeria, can you tell me the number of your teacher in Nigeria? Because no, I don't like that man. No, if this man, wait, I asked you a question. Listen, even though I wasn't born then too. What I'm saying is, if this man be the first teacher, now I'm not asking you, tell me the number of your own teacher in Nigeria. Because, why not say because we have a lot of teachers? Yes, teacher, we have school, you understand? Many teachers, you understand? You understand? Yeah. Now, children, we are going out to see the room of the first African people. They capture him, the brothers, the sister, mother, and father. And he is dead, he said, and I've never ever set my eyes on my family again. Let's say different slave traders will take them to different parts of the world. Till this day, they never meet again. And he attended Arabic College in Syria alone, where he had study education there. And he translated the English Bible to Yoruba Bible. And this is the first English Bible, which is King James Version. And this is the Yoruba Bible as well. Now, I think this Bible should be 170 years old today, and this one 167 years old. That is, it took him how many years? 3 years to do that. And look at that young man over there. His name is Babington Macaulay. What I say?
Babington Macaulay.
Babington Macaulay worked with Ajayi Crowther as a chaplain and got married to Ajayi Crowther's daughter Abigail, and they had Herbert Macaulay. Ever say Herbert Macaulay?
Herbert Macaulay.
The man on our honor. The Freeman, the first missionary that ever stepped his feet on the soil of Nigeria, him and Henry Townsend celebrated the first Christmas and first preaching under the Agea tree monument. And this is the man that built the building. His name is Reverend C.A. Garma in the year 1840. What?
42.
No, when they built this building, 45. What I say? 45. Yeah, please. Follow me. Now, children, this is a save of 1856. In 1856, there's no banking system in Nigeria. For that reason, I used to call this first bank in Nigeria, where the missionary kept their valuable. And this is before 1856 save. Now, we are going down. Follow me again. Now, you are welcome again. Now, this well serves as a drinking water for the community that lives here then. And up to date, you can see that people still come here to fetch the water. This water, then most of the well that we have in Badagry is not drinkable then, even up to now. But this serves as a drinking water for those that cannot afford to buy pure water or Regulis water. That's why that it is closer to the lagoon. It does not change color. It has no odor. Now, initially we used to call this well first well in Nigeria. But after a thorough research, we discovered our forefathers have been digging well before the arrival of the European. Then later the name changed to be first cemented well. First cemented well in Nigeria. But today, if you look at the tag, you see Miracle Well. Who named this well Miracle Well? The tourists that used to come here. Anytime they comes around, some of them used to take this water back to their destination. Anytime they visited the site, they testify that when they have a running stomach, an headache, or any spiritual attack, they use the water and it healed them. Since then, the name changed to be Miracle Well water. Now, let me bring the water out. Let's see if the water really pure, great, as I'm saying. And this well water never got dry since they dug the well. Please move backward, move backward. Can you see the water?
If you check the water, you see like
I drink it before.
See the water.
did I drink it?
Wait, make I test. Miracle water.
So you can just wash your hands. If you don't drink, just wash your hands.
Miracle water. Let me wash my face. It's true. You want to pass away?
You're welcome. Okay, now let's take a picture. Group picture. Story and the reason why we are here today and why we have to mark the World, yes, World International Human Rights Day. Then from here, you will see a petition for human rights. So I will expect each one of you to write his name and sign a signature. So this means you support human rights, you want human rights to go all over the places until you reach the smallest village, the village in your place where people are not aware of. You that is here today that have heard of the message, you are supposed to take this message far and wide to each and everywhere we can get to. Let's say every nook and cranny. So why are we here today? Why do we have to discuss about human rights? Human rights now, pay attention because at least you pick something home. Why is important is because in the Second World War, that is after the Second World War, I think that was 1945 or thereabout, all the countries that survived the war, or let's say they were very powerful, now decide that what happened, there was a lot of destruction everywhere. Now we have to come together to see that this kind of thing will not happen again. What do we do? They now say, okay, why don't we have an association, a place we can all come together to represent and discuss and agree on something so that this kind of issue will not come again. That was how, I think in 1945, they have United Nations. Then in 1948, they now decide to have what every person will work with, a document that everybody that is a member country of United Nations will work with. That document, they declare it Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And that book, which you are holding in your hand, contains about 30 human rights, which there are 30 articles of human rights. So the first one said we are all born free and equal. If you look at what we have learned today, you will find out that in that Kenya state, the people does not believe, they didn't believe that we are equal. Because it baffles me, you have tongue, I have tongue, you have ears, I have ears, we have everything together, you decide to catch me
as a slave, use me. You don't even have feelings for me when you are piercing my mouth and putting lock on me. You don't have such feeling. The little difference was that the color. And this human rights said, color does not make any meaning again. That you cannot judge a man by his color or by where he's coming from, by his height, whether he's short or long, or whether he's blue or red. That as long as he's a human being, as long as he's a living being, as long as he have two legs, he's walking like you have the same rights and equal rights with you. So that is why we are here today. That is why we have to promulgate, we have to create awareness. We have to take this message to our various schools to make sure we form association or clubs in our school and we begin to educate our members, our fellow students from your school and other schools. Like what the tour guy said, that take the message too to your parents, because the numbers does not really matter. They say few dedicated ones can make a change, and it has always been so. So for us to be here today, for us to be able to know that we have to mark the International Day of Human Rights, for us to be able to go over to that board and sign that petition, it means that human rights will go all over the places and every nook and cranny of Nigeria. We also want to make sure that peace, safety, and human rights education and global citizenship education are introduced in our schools, because these encourage the young ones to come together, to work together, to make the world a better place. So I expect, let me start from this young man. You go there, write your name, you've been number 4. Write your name, you sign your signature. So every other person can do the same. So we are signing for, yes, to do this thing. You can go closer.
You didn't write your surname. You only write your name.
Okay. Sir. What? Yes. As you sign now, go there. As you sign, go there. If you sign, write your complete name.
You don't follow this, please.
Now, so did they sign? They are writing your name. Go in there.
All right, enemy. Má fẹ́ ṣe lè máa snap ìwọ eléyìí ò lè snap.
I'm going to hear you people. Put yourself to this little point.
Anybody the best of give us that time. Who can remember? They say 4 types of money we use.
Yes. Yes, sir. Tobacco, carry, many. I'm not my name. I'm not my name. I'm not writing my name now. No.
Hey, I want 5 persons here.
Aisha.
Yeah. Who is Christantos? Christantus. Christa. Who is Bambushi?
Join them here.
I'm not the one.
Stay here, my friend.
Who is Bambushi?
The remaining 5. Senior prefect.
Who is Okoyemi?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Fakubuji.
Similar in wickedness. I said your house is being black. Longest name, we stick together. Wow. My I mean only my name. That's lost. Feel it.